One question which I've always grappled with, and I've been a stockbroker, so I've always wondered why people buy penny stocks. Then I was reading a few years ago about why people buy lottery tickets. It's more or less the same, right? When the probability is very low, people just can't even comprehend it can be so low. So the typical thought is, oh, it is just 1 rupee, it is just 2 rupees, it is just 10 rupees, it is just 100 rupees, depending on the lottery ticket that you buy. And unfortunately in India, lottery, even though it is official, it does not get much of press. But look at the American data. The Americans spend, hold your breath, $80 billion. Yes, $80 billion of hard-earned money is put into lottery, hoping that they win, right? So it is obviously hope. And looking at it as, oh, it's only $5, it's only $10, it's only $100, or the power game, right? The Powerball, the games that they play. Again, the probability is something like 1 in 175 million or things like that. I mean, it's ridiculously low, but the people are very happy that they go and buy it and they lose money, right? What is the probability of winning? It's very low. Why do people do? Simply because low probability just does not register in your head. It is again one of those compounding, it's difficult to understand. Similarly, a low probability is perhaps impossible to understand. So people will keep on putting money into lottery tickets, and that is exactly how they buy a penny stock. When they buy a penny stock, they say, oh, 1 rupee ka 2 rupees ho sakta hai. Typically, they want to buy a 1 rupee stock which will become 2 rupees, or a 6 rupee stock which will become 12 rupees. You give them a 1200 rupees stock which might become 2400, they'll say, it's too expensive. Now this is very funny. When you give them a 2 rupee stock, it is not as though they will buy one share worth 2 rupees, right? Or 6 rupees, whatever. Let's call it a 5 rupee stock. If it's a 5 rupee stock which they buy for, then they look at it and say, oh, 5 can become 10. Now, this does not even matter whether the face value is 1 or the face value is 10. Even a 10 rupee share, if it is quoting at 5, it is at a discount. If it's a 1 rupee share and quoting at 5, it is 5 times the face value, which is effectively 50 of your old 10 rupee share. So therefore, everybody wants it to be a 1 rupee share because people can look at it as very cheap. So a 1 rupee share quoting at say 5 rupees, and people say, oh, in 5 rupees, how much can I lose? Well, you can lose 5 rupees. Now that is not the point. The point is, do people buy one share? No. People whom I know, if I tell them it's a 5 rupee share, they will buy at least 1 lakh shares. And if I tell them, isn't 1 lakh too much? They'll say, no, I have 10 lakhs, so I'm buying 1 lakh shares now, and I'll buy 1 lakh shares later if the price falls to 3 or 4 or whatever, right? They have some mental limits like that. Now the truth is, if the price becomes 5, becomes 10, yes, of course you double your money. Can it happen in a week? Can it happen in 10 days? Can it happen in 20 days? Can it go to 0? The answer for almost everything seems to be yes. But just think of the people who held on to say something like Tata Tele, right? Nobody thought it would go up so much. We all had a lot of Tata Tele which we bought, sold at various prices, but never expected it to go up so much. So the logic is, people will think, oh, it's so what if it's a 5 rupee share or a 10 rupee share. When it goes up, it will go up dramatically, so I'll hold on. So then they buy, and then they have absolutely no reason how long they have absolutely no clue as to how long they will hold. So they will just keep holding. One day when it becomes 0, they'll say, oh, it's only 5 rupees. But it is not 5 rupees. It is 5 rupees into 1 lakh. It is 5 lakh rupees. Right? Maybe it is just 1% of your portfolio or 0.5% of your portfolio, but why would you lose so much simply on the lottery mentality? If I make a huge fortune, now then, yes, of course, if you get, what is the probability of getting? Because ultimately it is the change in price multiplied by the probability, and the probability is almost 0. Right? So why would people still go and put money there? Simply because the lottery is marketed in a very beautiful way. You have the winners being photographed and splashed all over, saying, oh, so and so won this prize, and look at Kaun Banega Crorepati. It is the winner who will get featured somewhere, etc. Now, if you want the truth, go and visit the winners of Kaun Banega Crorepati over so many years, and most of them would have destroyed their wealth, right? Because they don't know how to manage it, right? So the people come and tell you that if I had a crore of rupees, it would solve all my problems. Yes, of course, you tell them, look, it won't solve problems, then they're likely to tell you, give me the money, I will know how to handle it. But it is not as though people know how to handle it. People who have financial freedom are not the happiest. People who are hoping that financial freedom will work like magic for them are the people who are happiest. Actually, if a person gets financially free and has no clue what to do with his time, he's not going to be very happy. He's going to sit at home, and his wife is going to curse him for being financially free because he's not doing anything. It is nice to live life with constraints. Also, it is important to know what to do with your spare time. Will you travel? Will you do some charitable work? Will you continue to work? Will you give up your job? Will you continue? Will you help your wife in the kitchen? What are you going to do with your spare time? You need to answer that question just as importantly as saying, I wish I were financially free. Of course, you wish you were financially free, but you can't get financial freedom by buying penny stocks. So why do people buy penny stocks? Same reason why people buy a lottery. People will always buy something where the probability can be very low, but the payoffs are very high, and also it is marketed in such a way. All the success stories are told to you. If you had invested 10,000 rupees in Wipro in 1980, it would be 700 crores today. Yes, but at the same time, when Wipro came up for investing, there were 8,999 other companies where you may not have made money, where you may have lost money. Who is wanting to do a feature on the investor of Silverline, where his money has gone down the drain, or Shan Interval, or Pateja Forging? I can give you zillions of companies in which I was there, I have invested, I have removed money, perhaps at the right time, lost some money by not removing all the shares. So we have all done that, right? So we only talk about our success. So lottery marketing is also about successful people being photographed and shown all over the place, being interviewed. And then you think, oh, everybody wins the lottery. Not true. The probability is 1 in 175 million, or maybe 1 in 200 million, the number of buyers going up, right? Who makes money? Definitely the lottery company. So similarly, in a small cap, micro cap, whatever you want to call it, 3 rupees, 4 rupees, 2 rupees, the probability of your making money in that is very low. But the attraction is, wow, my 5 lakhs can become 5 crores, because I think a 5 rupee share can go to 100 rupees, and it has happened in the past. So when you look at it that way, the mind tells you that, look, it doesn't matter, because you're putting only 5 lakhs, you have 10 crores to invest, so it doesn't matter. So that is how people get to invest in penny stocks. I do not know what are the benefits, but at least I know in case of lottery, it is definitely a loss. When the probability of an event is low and the impact very significant, people suspend all logic and reasoning. This is what Daniel Kahneman says in his book, and even in many articles that he has written. He says people completely suspend. So for example, people are more afraid of a plane travel because they feel that plane might crash, but they will happily do jaywalking on the road, and whatever data you give them that walking on the road is as dangerous, you could be hit by a truck, you could be hit by a car if you're not careful, or whatever. People think they're very careful, then accidents still happen, right? So that is how people look at it. When the probability is low, people don't apply their mind. And I think what happens is the parts of your brain which daydream that you have won the lottery are very happy when even the thought that you are going to win. It is very difficult to tell a person not to invest in a lottery if he is a lottery addict. Exactly how people would buy a very low probability, low quality script hoping that it will do well, because they don't think they're putting too much at stake. Now, if you take a lottery person's total investment in lottery, and if you had put it in an index fund on a TRI basis, he would perhaps make more money than he would make even by winning a big lottery, because he has spent so much time and effort in doing that, that the chances are that he may not win the biggest lottery. So if he wins something smaller, his IRR may not be very attractive, especially for lottery addicts who have been doing it for 30-40 years. Funnily, what happens is the person who wins says, I never buy a lottery ticket. My wife asked me to buy. I was anyway standing here, so I bought. That is the probability of a person winning a lottery on one ticket only seems to be almost zero. But the thing is, it happens, and the fact that it happens allows people to sink in $80 billion. Let me repeat, $80 billion into lottery tickets, and that is exactly how they buy small cap stocks, which I think it is just vivid daydreaming which allows them to believe that they have won it, and therefore they buy it, and if they miss it by a small number, they keep buying again and again and again, and it is addicting. So when a retail investor goes and buys a share and let's say the price goes up, does he sell? No, the answer is he doesn't sell, because what he thought was a good buy at 30 rupees, let's say, and it goes up to 60 rupees after he has bought it. Do you think he'll sell? No, he will wait. He will tell himself that, oh, this is a 200 rupees stock, so let it go up. Then he will wait for it to go up to 200. Will he sell at 200? No, then he will create a new story that it is going to 400. This is for the successful investor. This is for the investor who succeeded in one share. What happens if he does not do well? Suppose he buys a share at 5 rupees and it goes to 4, 3, 2 or whatever. Let's say it stays at 4 for 2 years, 3 years. Will he sell? Answer is no, because he does not have a time limit or a price limit. So if you buy let's say you buy a 10 rupee stock and it goes down to 8 rupees and stays there for 6 months, 8 months, sell it off. Because you have to have two things. You have to have a price limit and a time limit. Because if you've already made the mistake of buying a 10 rupee stock, don't say how much can it go. It can go to 0. But sir, you bought 1 lakh shares. You put 10 lakhs into it, or you bought 50,000 shares. You put 5 lakhs into it. So that is what you can lose. It's not just losing 5 rupees. So have your stop loss in terms of price and have your stop loss in terms of time also. This is a concept which not very many people use. You bought a share, it has done nothing for 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. You also lost interest in it because it's done nothing. And you don't know anything of that story. If you know that it is going to do well, let's say you bought a bank and some big investors have also invested in the bank, and you know that over a period of time it might make money. Then it's different. You know something in that story. Maybe it was a penny stock when you bought it, but it may not be a penny stock now. Maybe you're holding, maybe you bought it at 8 rupees and you're holding to sell it at 100 rupees. That's fine. You know some story. But if you bought something where you don't know the story just because the price was attractive, then you should have your price limit and your time limit. So if your price limit is not being touched, if you bought it at $5 and it is at 4 and it is 6 months into the system, I think you should sell. So have both those limits. Understand why people buy lottery, and don't buy penny stocks just because you think it will go up. Buy if it has a story behind it. Buy also if you have a time frame long enough to hold it, and if it doesn't work out within 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever is your time limit or the price, just get rid of it. Thank you.